This week we had Corien Staels from Staels Design. They've recently launched a Kickstarter for their new product, the WheelAir. And we have Corien in this week to have a chat around how she got to where she is and the product itself. This was a really good podcast. One of the ones we've enjoyed the most recording. It was definitely one of the longest we've ever recorded. And probably one of the most interesting stories from somebody that we've had in to the show. Well, we hope you enjoy it, and let's just get into it.
So Corien, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How's your day going? How's it been?
Wild.
Yeah?
Wild.
Yeah.
I organised an event today in Edinburgh for the Kangaroos Society, so we had a panel discussion with some investors and some startups. But I woke up pretty hungover from last night from the excitement, I must admit, honestly.
Yeah, I make that mistake every single time that I have something important to do the next day. It's like I don't drink often, but when I do have something important the next day, I'm certain I'm going to drink the night before. I feel like shit the whole way through it.
Yeah, I don't really drink in the week, but I mean, winning £100,000.
Yeah,
That's golfer celebration.
So tell us about that. You seem to just win everything. So tell us about the Edge.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So last year I won Young Edge. After applying for the first time, it was just £10,000, and this year I was in for the main Edge. So that's a fund of £700,000 that got divided over the main Edge candidates. And I was one of the two who got a full 100,000. So absolutely insane. I think it's just it reached the level of being surreal at the moment.
Yeah, £100,000. That's 100,000 little pounds. It's insane. Yep. It's a huge amount.
I know.
What's the difference between the Young Edge and the actual Edge?
Young Edge is more for companies at an earlier stage. So the maximum you can win there is £10,000,
Okay.
and they can award you anything between a couple thousand to 10,000. But
Okay.
yeah, so last half a year, so it's every half a year they do Edge. I wasn't ready for main Edge, but I really was now. But so the Young Edge, winning that was just amazing. I mean, it's £10,000 made a huge difference.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For my company at the time.
Just to be able to have that money, just to be able to... Is there any stipulations around what you can use it for?
In advance, you have to say what you will use the money for.
Okay.
So that's why sometimes people only get 50,000 or 30,000. So I actually asked for 97,000, but I got rewarded 100. And then you get it in different parts. So I need to prove that I made the expenses that I budgeted for.
Why did you ask for 97 instead of 100,000?
At the time, I knew exactly what I needed the money for. I got quotes
Right.
of everything I needed the money for, and I wanted to make it really specific. So I knew exactly that they knew, like, this is not just going in the bank. I need this, and this is why. Okay. And then afterwards, I was like, I need 100.
So apart from rolling about in your wads of cash, like Scrooge McDuck,
Every day, all day.
what's the next thing you're going to do? It sounds madness. So you win £100,000 today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday. What's next week going to look like?
Next week, well, I've got about 900 emails that need replying to.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm actually going to England for demo days for WheelAir, and I'm pitching for £25,000 on Tuesday.
So you're pitching for more money?
Yeah, in Newcastle for Santander Entrepreneurship Awards.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then exhibiting with the spinal injuries. I mean, every day, it's a different day, but it's just basically me driving around with wheelchairs all day, every day. But the next steps for the company are definitely going into manufacturing. So we're ordering our tooling, looking at the final changes, and to then start selling.
Okay. See, like for me, I imagine if I won £100,000 in a panel, like if I had won for that money for a business, I would want to take a nice £4,000 holiday. Can you use the money for salary and for expenses, or is that like a no?
I mean, I can, because I'm the owner of the business, so it goes in my company.
So is it
but
simple as that? Like they give it to you, and then whatever you do with it is your prerogative.
Well, you're not supposed to just do anything. Like, I'm supposed to use it for what I budgeted for, and I will.
Yeah.
So I mean, 100,000 is still not that much money. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Lot, yeah.
But when you have a product business that you need to manufacture, you need it. So I would never spend it on something like that. But I'm now on a payroll from the fellowship. But in October, I will come on the payroll, and some of that money will still be used for that. Yeah.
Okay.
But not for lavish holiday
Not for
because I've
lavish,
got no
no.
time for holiday.
I can't imagine the people. I just wonder how they actually like control it. Do they control it? Because if somebody came in and were just super convincing, and then they take the money away, and they use it for like.
Yeah, I think in cases where it's retroactive, where you have to spend.
Is it
on something-
retroactive?
No, but they do control it. I mean, you get a case manager. Kind
Okay,
of,
so there is like
they follow
there is
up with
things
you.
in there.
Absolutely, you don't get just a whole
Matt
at
was-
once. To get the next, you need to prove what you spend it on.
Yeah.
But you do get it. It's not like with grants that you need to spend it first and then claim it back.
Okay, that's good.
I think Matt was plotting and getting a grant and then rolling about in it.
Yeah. I think that's probably why they don't do it. We thought about it, but people had told us repeatedly like they don't do service businesses. Like you could get very far, but then when it gets to the final stage, they would just tell you to fuck off because you're a service business.
Did Made Brave not win it?
No, they only got so far, as memory serves. Am I wrong in that?
I thought they won
Can't
it a couple of years ago,
Did they?
but I'm not. I don't quote me on that. I mean,
Yeah, I think they got really far.
Well, that's the story I'd heard, is they
Yeah.
got really far,
Okay.
and then because they were a service business, they didn't get to that final bit. Like they never got the actual funding,
yeah.
but it was still really good anyway for them. I mean,
For you guys, I think it's more value maybe if you, because I mean, it's true. A service business is hard to sell for such type of competitions, but
yeah.
you can probably provide services to everyone in the competition. So
No, absolutely.
that's how you can
Absolutely.
make money, I guess.
But also, I mean, what would we go for funding for? You know, we wouldn't. Besides like office space and salaries, there's not very much equipment.
It makes
and,
sense if you've got a product that
Yeah,
has
that you need to-
a big overhead to even
Yeah.
enter the market. So
Yeah, well, I guess
that's crazy exciting.
it is.
You
It
seem
must-
really calm.
You
for-
do. I'm kind of a bit feeling a bit uncomfortable with the fact that you're so relaxed.
I know everyone keeps telling me that I'm so
Like
calm.
a veteran entrepreneur here, just
Just won 100k.
manufacturing
I know it's so
stuff.
strange, but like, when a year and a half ago, I won my first award,
Yeah.
and it was £250 Amazon voucher from Glasgow Uni, and I was so happy. I was so ecstatic. I was like, insane! Oh my god! And then I won 1,000. I won 1,500. Then I won 2,500. Then I won 10,000, and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It never feels the same.
It never feels the same.
I understand actually.
But
when you say it
I
like
do
that.
like. I am so excited, but it's just so surreal. I think it's not sunk in. I think I need to chill out for a weekend and let it all sink
Yeah.
in me, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be, oh my god.
I always find that I get, after we win a big contract, it's never straight away. Like I always start to think really like
About the work.
about the work.
Yeah.
I don't actually think about the fact that I've just won it. Like we just won the project, and then it like kind of sets in like 6 months later. I'm like, oh yeah, holy shit, we did that. But I'll never forget the first time that we ever won a project, which was like £150. No, how much was it? It was like £400, something like that. But I think that we were still doing par payments back then, and it was like £200 up front and then £200 when we completed the project. And I remember walking out with him after the guy didn't want to pay by card, he wanted to pay by cash, so we had £200 of actual cash in our hands, and we were just standing on Hope Street like two wee boys, just so excited, talking about what we were going to spend this £200 on. This was like back when
I
we were
think we were still studying.
we were still studying. This was like the first days of the business. And it was actually one of the main reasons we started it, because we knew that there was somebody who needed what we did.
Yeah.
I'm going to open the window. I'm
Dan,
fucking sweating.
Dan.
And it's just going to, we can put up with the cars. That should be okay. If we regret it after the recording, then
That's fine.
it's too late.
Yeah.
But I'm dying. See, the pipes that run under our office, they're the ones that carry the hot water through to the washing room and to other floors. So if they've got the heating on upstairs, which they always do, our room becomes a bloody furnace. So that's just what it's going to be.
Probably the only building in Glasgow where it is warm.
Yeah, it's something that I always hear people complaining about how cold their building is. Something really crazy about, the site of Glasgow College buildings at the top of North Hanover Street. So apparently their control centre for their heating is controlled down by the riverfront. So they have to call the riverfront to be able to control their heating. So when it gets cold, they have to call them to turn the heating on.
Oh god.
And then it controls the buildings in the north. What does it say? Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, what the fuck am I talking about?
So,
Good knowledge.
so obviously everyone is a rave with Staels Design.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Staels Design.
So, Staels Design.
Yeah.
Our product is WheelAir, our first product. So 2 years ago I discovered that people with a spinal cord injury are unable to sweat because their body can't communicate with their brain. So what happens is they overheat very, very easily.
Is that the case across the board?
Yeah, it's more so with higher spinal cord injuries like tetraplegia, quadriplegia, but even with paraplegia, it very often also, it's almost everyone. So what happens, your muscles slow down, you get nauseous, you need to stop exercising, you get nauseous in parks, it's insane. And the more research I did, I found that this is not just with spinal cord injuries, but there's other people, wheelchair users who take medication so they can't sweat anymore, or they just like other syndromes or MS, like just body temperature regulation is just a big issue. So I've looked at the wheelchair and I created a cooling backrest cushion. So it's a battery powered airflow mechanism that we've built inside the cushion that helps circulate the body temperature, it circulates air, and you basically create cooling that doesn't just cool the back, but just cools the whole core. Okay. And it looks good. So it's like combining function with style. And one of our users, test user Jay, she's a professional athlete. She was able to sit in the sun for the first time in 20 years without overheating with our cushion. So it's just phenomenal that we can achieve that.
Yeah. This is your first product?
Yes.
So like how that must be quite a rewarding feeling for this to be your first product, like the first thing that you've designed in this fashion for the medical industry. Absolutely. And then to have that return, have somebody say it's been 20 years that I haven't been able to sit in the sun and you've fixed that with your first product.
I know, it's absolutely insane. I made this product as a bachelor dissertation project, and back then I didn't even know I was going to start a company. And then when I started the company, you hope you can make an impact, but you don't know. And to have those final prototypes being tested and like hearing those responses is just like, that's all you can ask for. Like that's like, I don't care about, I care about that so much more than winning £100,000. The £100,000 helps me to achieve that. Yeah, so I can bring it to everyone. But my God, like hurts, like people saying that, our test users, in our interviews for our video, like, I mean, I was crying. It was emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be really, really, really rewarding. So how did you come up with this idea or come up with this concept?
So for my dissertation, I wanted to do something with sports and medical textiles because I have a background in fashion. Right. So I was working as a sportswear designer before as an internship. And I met someone at my university, Lisette. She was giving us some class on a body scanner and we got talking. And she was just like, I do some dissertation supervision, so maybe I can be your dissertation supervisor. I was like, yeah, super cool. We started brainstorming about what I could do, and she said a lot of wheelchair users have overheating issues because she was a wheelchair user herself. And I didn't know anything about this, but so I went in, I did some research, drove to Paralympic athletes, to retailers, to distributors, producers, and everyone talked about this problem. They all said, the wheelchair users with spinal cord injury are being sprayed with a water hose to cool down during competition. Like, when someone else was saying to me yesterday, they went to the Paralympic athlete in Rio, the Paralympics, and as soon as the athletes landed and they were outside, they were just all pouring water bottles in their necks and in their backs just to cool down. It's just mental. It's such a big unaddressed issue.
So sorry, can I just ask, see the microphone, could you just pull that up a little tiny bit? Just like lift it. Should be quite, that's it. Yeah, I don't know, it keeps just slipping down. It's a pain in the ass. There we go. Okay? If it slides down, don't worry about it again, but just get the advantage. So why has nobody ever addressed that issue? Like, surely that's something that's just staring everybody in the sports profession.
I didn't realise that people with spinal cord injury couldn't sweat.
No, I didn't know that at all.
I thought it was a case of they couldn't regulate the heat because they're bound to the chair. But to not sweat, imagine that played in Brazil.
Is it like full body? They don't sweat?
No, they don't sweat above the injury, but it's all...
Above the injury?
Yeah.
Right.
So some people, that's just their shoulders and their face. So like when we exercise, our body gets too hot and it says to our brain, I'm too warm, the brain says you need to start sweating. Yeah. But with these people, when you have an injury, your body gets too hot, but it can't bring that message up to the brain, because those go through the spinal cord
Yeah.
And when you have that injury, it just blocks. So your body's too hot, but the brain doesn't know that it needs to start sweating.
It's crazy to think that in this day and age, the best thing an athlete can do to cool down when they get off a plane is to throw water over themselves.
Exactly. Like, there are some ice vests that people use, but you don't always have a freezer to freeze them in.
No.
You know, with you. And I mean, I don't know.
Also,
I think the problem is a lot of wheelchair companies are very focused on their wheelchair mechanics and technology behind the chair.
Yeah.
So like the wheels and the whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But they don't really have the knowledge on the cushions. So what I see is not the seat cushions, like the bum cushions, they are quite developed because that's different brands, so just specialize in that. But the backrest cushions, they don't have the textile knowledge, and they don't really care. So they just put a really, really cheap foam in and try to cut costs on that. It's like with a nylon fabric very often. Sometimes I see spacers like we use, but then the cheapest ones, like we use the highest quality in the world that you can get. And it just makes such a difference. Like I think it's just, they don't care.
Yeah.
So obviously aesthetics is really important to you, being that you've got a fashion background, so you're really keen on combining the two, the function with obviously the look. How did you find that challenge, the process of designing something that was one, appealing aesthetically but also functional?
Quite difficult. I think it's a case of you start with something less pretty, and then every prototype it became better looking and better looking.
Yeah.
But it's not like, in the beginning we just worked on the function, and once we nailed the function, then we started looking at the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite difficult but interesting.
And when you started doing the prototyping for the actual product, did you already know what it was going to look like?
It changed, yeah.
Because obviously you had to work with like different restrictions and different models, and does it fit? See, I have no idea. Like I do not know anybody in a wheelchair. I've never been in a wheelchair, so I just don't know anything about this. Are all wheelchair backs the same? From
standard manual wheelchairs, yes. Apart from the carbon black chairs made in Scotland, they have a different backrest.
The what?
The carbon black is the Scottish wheelchair brand, so they have a different backrest. And then, but most chairs just come with a straight canvas back.
Yeah.
Then you've got another company, Jay, who makes special backrests with big plastic, so if you need more support. But generally speaking,
they're all the same.
The manual chairs have the same backrest, yes.
Okay, so you've targeted the most common wheelchair back.
Yeah, so we've looked at the people who are most active, so all people with spinal cord injuries and a lot of people with MS and other conditions, they use the active lightweight chairs. So those are the self-propelling chairs that you see with the big wheels. That's classed as active, lightweight or folding, rigid or folding chairs.
Yeah.
So because that's the biggest group and those are the people who get around most, plus that's the backrest that's the least developed, we've chosen that one.
So you must have had to spoken to a lot of people in wheelchairs to be able to kind of work this product together. Silly question maybe, but why with that? Why did most people in wheelchairs choose a wheelchair that you have to move yourself when like you can get ones that move for you?
Because it's all about the ability.
Is it just like the independence? Yeah.
Independence is the fact, you don't want your muscles to degrade. You want to stay strong. Be about, like, people want to stay in manual chairs as long as they can, because it's proof of, like, look,
ability,
I'm still here.
Yeah. So most people, what I was kind of wondering was it a cost thing? Was it like just people get a manual wheelchair because it's the first thing that they have, and then they stick with it because it's really expensive to get an electric one, or is it just...
If you're a manual chair, you can still drive a car, you can, load it in yourself, you do everything yourself, it's lightweight. Electric chairs are heavy, they don't fit through everything, you can't just pop it in your car by weight around my arm, it's a whole different thing.
No, that's really cool. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, and I don't know. Obviously because I'm not in a wheelchair. I assume that if I would maybe want one that just was electric, but that's just me being an idiot thinking that would be the obvious choice. But I guess if it's lightweight and it's easier to move around and you can actually do things.
What you see these days though a bit more is active manual wheelchairs that are getting a bit of support from electric.
Yeah.
So or people
Because there's so
buy a
much with
battery
bikes
for
that are
it,
doing
yeah.
that
Or
already.
they get like a wheel in front that's electric, so it's easier
Yeah.
if you go uphill. Because I mean, I roll around in a wheelchair quite a lot, and uphill is hard. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Like, you need some serious strength.
That's the
You
thing, like
help
my
yourself.
legs can barely push me up a hill when I'm cycling. So if you made me do it with my arms, I'd be like, nope, nope, just gonna stay at the bottom here.
Can I tell you a really embarrassing story about when we were at your launch party?
Mhm.
I went to shake this girl's hand. I think she's a quadriplegic, and I didn't realise. So I was stood there with my hand out, but I'd already committed. So I was like, okay, need to commit, need to keep going. But it just straight away opened my eyes up to how ignorant I was to the different people that are
Disabled, yeah, just different disabilities.
Like, you must have learned.
Was it not in the electric wheelchair?
Electric wheelchair,
Emma.
yeah.
So she's not quadriplegic. She doesn't have spinal cord injury, but she's
Right.
got muscular dystrophy, I
Right,
believe. So
okay.
she's just not able to lift her arms that
Yeah.
high. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine because you don't know, so you don't they're not offended because why would you know?
No, I know.
I know it's a bit awkward.
It's
but
just one of those things.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think it's
You
more
feel
like
bad
a
about it,
personal
but-
thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's more of a personal thing. It's not, you don't think that you've offended anybody, but at the same time you're like, I wish I knew more about this. And it's not until you're confronted
Yeah.
that you think to yourself, I should know more about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it was during the Paralympics. There was a series of adverts that they ran where it was like, just how to interact with people who were disabled, like either in wheelchairs, and it was just kind of simple things. It was like when you go to say hi, don't like drop down to talk on like lower, don't kneel down. I guess people do that, which I don't think that'd be the first instinct that I would ever have. But it was really helpful. Not helpful, but it was helpful. These adverts were really helpful, I found, to just kind of understand a little bit better, because you don't want to offend anybody in that circumstance.
I guess it
You
just
don't
comes down to treating people how you want to
want to
be
be
treated.
treated, yeah,
you know?
I guess, like all things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I kneel down, like I talk, but then it's easier to just kneel down, or
Yeah.
it's just as long as it's like natural and like you don't.
Yeah, you don't want
Make
to
a thing
sense.
of
You don't
it.
make it too. You don't want to make it
Yeah.
a sensitive
Yeah.
thing, right?
Sometimes
You
I
don't.
Take, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I take a photo with people in wheelchairs, and then I bend over kind of, and then I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have bent over. But I mean, it just comes natural. It's just something like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
It's not the same thing, but it's like, when you meet somebody for the first time and you're going to get a photo with them, and you see tons of pictures of on the internet, like guys and girls who've got that floating hand, because you don't know, can I put should I put my hand on their shoulder?
Are we
Should I not put my hand?
comfortable?
Are we there yet? So you can have this levitating hand over the top of somebody, and then there's tons of pictures of people like this with their floaty hands. But it's like that. I think it's just people need to just be natural. And if you fuck up and then somebody points it out, then you accept that you fucked up and go, all right, I didn't know that, that's fine, and then you move on from it. I think you can make a big thing of it in your head. I know I can anyway, for sure. So what happens after you've done your research and you've got an idea for the product and you've started to build it? When did you think did you think this was going to be a business at the very beginning?
No. I mean, I considered it, but then I thought, I don't know, I was quite young. Well, quite young.
How long
2
ago
years
was
ago.
this? Was this 2 years ago?
23.
Back when you were a pup.
I didn't really know what I was doing with my life, so I considered it. I was like, oh yeah, maybe one day I'll turn this into a business, but certainly wasn't my priority.
Okay. So it just kind of happened.
Well, so I finished my bachelor, then went to work in consulting for a bit for the summer, came here, did my master's. And while I was here, sometimes, because I studied entrepreneurship here.
Let's go back a little bit there. Let's go
Yeah.
back. You came over, so you were studying before
Amsterdam.
in Amsterdam, and then after that was what you studied in Amsterdam.
So I studied international fashion management in Amsterdam with an exchange in Australia and an internship in Norway, and then another year in Amsterdam. And then
Okay.
I came here.
And what was, if you don't mind me asking, so you started off doing fashion design, international fashion design. What was like young you hoping for? Like, what was the aspiration there? Like, what did you want?
Well, didn't actually start off with doing that.
No? Okay.
No.
Let's go further back then.
further back. So I was 17, went to uni in Belgium, which is where I'm from. And I wanted to be in business. no idea what it really meant. I never studied economics in high school. I was just like, I want to be a businesswoman. So I thought, right, what do? I'm going to go study economics. Off I go.
Economics?
Economics, university in Ghent. I was drinking a bit too much. I was partying a bit too much.
And Ghent's an amazing city for that.
Study. Yeah, exactly.
Did you stay in Ghent?
Yeah. I lived there for 2 years.
Did you get like a house or was it like
a studio?
So yes, I've only been to Ghent once. Once for a wander around, and the second time was for a party, and it was somebody had bought like a 3-story house with like all their friends, and they were all staying in it. And I arrived at this party, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because my university experience was, we went to a university in Paisley, so you didn't get that.
Yeah.
And we were all broke as shit at that point in time. So parties, they didn't actually happen. No. The majority of the parties we had were people who had left. No, like our university, West Scotland University, go.
Good university.
Can't match it.
Go out. It got us to where we are today. So
it got us to where we are today. But as far as it went, like socially, because it's based all the way out in Paisley, it's shit. It was shit for that.
Yeah.
Because everybody just wanted to leave. And I lived in the West End at that point. You were living out in Shawlands at that point, so you had to just do this whole thing to get back and forth. Mm-hmm. And nobody wanted to stick around and party. And anybody that did live in Paisley, you weren't hanging around in Paisley. Yeah. No offense to anybody who lives in Paisley, but you were not hanging around late night in Paisley to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So you would normally just go out into the city, which when I went to Ghent and I saw that. And I was like, shit. So
it's very different in Belgium because we all, it's such a small country. I grew up 15-minute drive from Ghent, but that's far away, in my country.
Yeah.
So like we all, we all just when you're, or most people in Belgium, when you're 17, 18, you go to uni, you just go live in that city. Very few people commute. So yeah.
I think that's a nice way of doing it. I think it kind of gets you out of your home. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
don't worry about that. I probably made too much of a point of it last time, and it was really just because I saw like
closer to your face. So you're studying economics, and at what point did it hit you that that's not what you wanted to do with your life?
Oh.
Straight away, or
was it when you saw
the
shoulder pads of like a business suit? You're like,
no, like
no.
I still wanted to do it, but my exam results weren't fantastic. And then it just put so much pressure on me, on my family. Like I'm from a very achieving family, so it was very hard for them to accept that. And I felt just such a failure.
That can be difficult.
It's just not good for your mental state.
That can be difficult.
I know. And
I came from a family where not like high achieving, but my dad was the first person in his family to go to uni. I get your dad's.
Education's a big thing in Ghana, so it's like if you're not a doctor or a lawyer or some profession, it's you need to be at least PhD level as well. You can't just be some.
You can't just have a degree.
Masters isn't good enough.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, little side note: when we graduated, my mum was like, "This is the 4th graduation I've been to this month." Yeah. So.
That's what your mum said to me. It was quite funny. Yeah. We were standing outside the church because our graduation was in a church, and Nana popped in to get his gown, and I was standing outside with his mum. I was like, "Oh, it's an exciting day. Nana's graduating after all these years," and she was like, "I have 2 other boys. They've both graduated already." So yeah, I was like, "I'm graduating too."
So I understand that must have been difficult.
Yeah, because in high school, I did the highest thing you could study in high school. I had top of my class, never any effort, loads of hobbies, and then you get to uni and like, oh my god, I don't know how to study.
Yeah.
I just studied all my exams and stuff in high school on like short memory. Did it, so woke up at 6, studied it, did the exam, forget everything about it.
The schooling system's quite similar in Belgium as to
I'm not sure. No, you can't really choose your electives and stuff. It's pretty different, I feel, but I don't know enough about the school system here.
I know that the university system's different.
Yeah, definitely. It's all 100% exams. And we had like 8 subjects or like 9 subjects per semester.
Yeah.
All like 1,000-page or more books per subject. So that's like 10k pages that you need to just memorize. It just doesn't work.
But
for me, at least, it doesn't.
Jane will listen to this and she'll slaughter me if I've got it wrong because I'm sure she's told me this before. But is there not like once you've got your high school diploma, you can go and study anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the UK,
Oh yeah, exactly. You
in
can't
the
do
UK,
anything.
when we graduate high school, they've already written you off as being a fuckhead if you don't like get high A's. Because if I don't get five A's in my hires, actually I don't even think Glasgow Uni for law, which is what I wanted to do when I first. One of the things I wanted to do, it was like 7 A's because you had to do 5th and 6th year.
Yeah.
So I had just absolutely no chance. So I was already written off by that point in time.
It's just, the thing is horrible.
Yeah.
Because not everyone achieves their full potential in high school, or
No,
you
exactly.
you can go through stuff personally.
As soon as I left high school, I was a totally different person. Like
Yeah.
the day after,
Yeah,
I was like new Matt.
I think people mature at a different rate as well, especially boys. Boys seem to mature later.
Yeah.
So to have picked what you're going to do with the rest of your life when you're 15, 16, it's just unattainable for most people. Especially for me, I left and went straight into work, and that was the point that I realised that I needed to do something else. But so you were doing economics in Ghent, and then wasn't going well, so you then decided to move to Amsterdam.
Yeah, so I was a year and a half in. It was exam period, and I was at home. My dad he just didn't work, and I just told him everything. I was just like, I'm not happy, like blah 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 blah. And so they were like, right, quit today. So I quit it. They also cut me off, so then I had like day off to go get a job in Ghent. Worked in a sandwich bar, and I was like, right, okay, what the hell am I gonna do with my life?
How old were you at this time?
I was 19. So no idea what I had to do. Looked at other courses. I was like, right, I want something more specific. So before, I've always wanted to do a bit fashion, like as a child, but I was always prohibited by my father to do so. But I looked into cooking, I looked into fashion, different countries, because I felt like I just needed a break. I just needed a change from scenery. I had to get out.
Mm-hmm.
My dad found the course in Amsterdam. So I looked at it, and it was like the closing date for applications closed 2 weeks after. Hefty application. So I was like, oh my god. Went for it, did it, drove to Amsterdam, did the application and got in. And then a couple months later, just moved to Amsterdam and started again. And since then, skyrocketed.
Yeah. Because that's quite it's like peaks and troughs, right?
Yeah.
You're just there, and then. So that was the big definer. Obviously, you went there, and then that was you on that path.
Yeah.
And then you came to Glasgow to do
My master's.
your master's in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, international business and entrepreneurship.
Okay, so you always still had that kind of like want to be a businesswoman
Yeah.
still like in the back of your mind there.
Yeah, well, I studied fashion and management, so a lot of the part was about product management and business plans and stuff. We had still learned how to design, but not the whole creative process. It was more when a designer comes up with the design, we are the product managers, the fashion managers go
Yeah.
draw that in Illustrator, the technical drawing, and then we are taught the whole process of also color books and collections and branding, but also stitch lines, sewing processes, the manufacturing of it,
Okay.
the whole everything behind it. So it was really informative. It was really very cool. But I also did an exchange in Australia where I just studied business, economics. Funny enough, aced the exam of economics 100%.
You did?
Took me a bit, but yeah.
Just send that to your dad. What?
I did it.
Do this.
How was Australia?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you like it?
Fantastic.
Where were you based?
Brisbane.
Brisbane?
Yeah.
Oh,
Queensland
cool.
University of Technology. Amazing. Oh, just to wake up. I mean, to wake up in warm weather every day, in sunshine, it does
Yeah.
something to someone. Like, I never realized until I came to live here how much it does to me, because I cannot survive here.
Yeah.
It's
The lack of vitamin D is
pretty difficult. Even
builds
this
character though. It's good for business.
This week's been like a goddamn like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was so sunny Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday it was rain and thunderstorms, and then yesterday it was shitty and humid, and then today it was nice.
Yeah.
You just can't get into any rhythm for it.
I think I could definitely get used to waking up in warmth
Yeah.
and being able to just, know ahead of time what you have to wear.
Yeah.
Because here you're like, I don't know what to wear. It's going to be 25 degrees, but wet. And
I'm still
humid.
wearing a winter's jacket in the summer because I just don't know.
Yeah.
I can't be sure that it's going to be good.
I've actually not worn a jacket in like 3 weeks or something.
You're just more of a badass than I am then.
Live wild.
Yeah. We were talking about Australia today at lunch, and we were talking. Did you see any spiders? Did you see any spiders?
Spiders? No.
None?
I actually didn't see, I mean, I probably saw a spider, but I didn't see any, like, mental animals the whole time I was there.
See a
You
kangaroo?
disappointed by that?
Yeah, I saw a kangaroo. No, I was not. I was totally fine with that.
No snakes?
No snakes, just a lot of dead kangaroos.
Dead kangaroos?
Yeah,
Why?
they get hit by cars all the time.
Oh.
So, because they could just cross the roads random
Yeah,
times.
there's
I
So,
guess that's no different than a deer.
so
right?
many by the side of the road.
There's a lot of kangaroos. That's like a problem, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like,
Yeah, a guy got arrested when we were there, I think, for hitting 100 kangaroos on his way home. He did it on purpose. He just tried to kill as many as possible.
That's fucked up.
That's super fucked up.
Have you heard about Kangaroo Island in Loch Lomond?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I actually had kangaroos in my hometown in Belgium. I know now the
Nice.
microphone is just annoying me, so I just.
I'll sort that out for you and tell us. I'll tell you about Kangaroo Island later on. But, that should do it.
Perfecto.
So, Kangaroo Island.
Yes.
Okay. So, apparently there's an island in Loch Lomond that has kangaroos on it. Now, I've not confirmed this because I haven't been. But there's a Wikipedia page about
I
it.
would just like to call bullshit.
Kangaroo.
Just putting it out there.
Apparently,
I mean, if it has a Wikipedia page, it's legit.
it did. It
That was
does.
Matt this
It does.
morning. Like,
And I'm pretty certain that there's like pictures of them. But apparently somebody brought kangaroos over and then put them on this island.
Was it you?
It was. It was.
is this the right climate? Could they survive in Scotland's
Yes.
climate? Could they?
Yes,
Yes.
they could.
Okay.
I'm not so sure that the only bit that I call bullshit on is
Okay, I take it back then. This might be plausible.
the only thing that I would be unsure of is an island in Loch Lomond, so I'm not so sure what food
Yeah,
there
that
is.
is a bit strange.
Yeah.
That's the only bit that I'd
No,
be
but
like,
they eat just grass and shit, no? Like
I don't know what
trees and
kangaroos eat.
plants, and
I like.
in my mind, that's what they eat. They could be
Are they just
carnivores, but I
Yeah.
don't think so.
No, I've seen them
I don't
in
imagine
places,
them like fucking up a cow and eating a cow. I don't see that. I don't see that
I doubt there's cows as well.
on the
Yeah.
island.
Or
Well, you
is it a
never
big
know, like,
island?
I've come
I'm
across-
imagining this really tiny island.
No, I think it's like well, maybe it is. I don't know. The Wikipedia page said Kangaroo Island. Right, so
Here's a bit of a tangent. Did you know that there's more tigers in captivity in Texas than there are in the rest of the world in the wild?
in Texas,
Wow.
In Texas.
the Texans
That's
have a
very
big thing for
sad. Texans were
kangaroos,
just
for
like,
lions, tigers.
Yeah, because their laws are quite laxed there. So like there's in other states you're not allowed to like have animals as like have wild tigers as pets, but in Texas it's totally cool. So they've got like big open plains where they've got hundreds of tigers.
That's fucked up.
Wild.
Mm.
Why is there so? Why is there so few, or why is there so many?
Nah,
What's the
there's
what's
just
the right
there's just a lot in
what's the right
Texas.
question
think
to
many.
ask there? Is it
Oh, you mean?
no? But like,
few
why
in
is there
total.
why is there so few in the rest of the world?
Yeah.
But there's enough in Texas to be more than the rest of the world. So is the question why
Poaching?
is there so few in the rest of the world, or why is there so many in Texas? What's the-
I don't know. I think I don't know if all tigers are endangered. I don't think so. I think there's just a lot of crazy people in Texas. That's how it goes
That
down.
is for sure.
I
think.
would not have a tiger. Did anybody ever see that documentary? Was it Louis Theroux? Maybe it was. It was that crazy fucking guy in the States who had like a farm. Have you ever seen this? Do you ever watch Louis Theroux? I advise you watch Louis Theroux.
I know. I want to, and I've
You
got
should.
so many things I want to watch and listen
You've
to.
got podcasts to listen to. You've got People
I know.
Purpose Planet podcasts to
I-
listen to. So
Advise Louis Theroux. You don't need to watch all of his stuff, just some of it.
Yeah,
I think it was Louis Theroux.
I've seen clips of it. You know, like short clips of stuff, but not
Yeah.
never a full documentary.
No, it's just this crazy guy in the States who has a farm. No, like
So
sorry.
crazy. That's mental.
Farm.
That is insane.
See, this is
you
why
should
this
not,
is this
you
is,
should not leave Glasgow, man. I'm
this
telling
is
you.
why words are important. He has a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
A zoo. So he has all these lions and tigers, and he's got a liger,
Right.
where
Tiger,
tiger and lion.
lion.
Yeah. So he's like got one of these, and he's bankrupt, like super bankrupt. He's got absolutely no money, but he has all these animals. But they're in this kind of like funny situation with the state where they don't know what they'll do with all the animals. I think it costs so much to get rid of the animals, so they just kind of let him be. But he keeps spending money, and he keeps just like he's in this perpetual state of debt, and he has like weird little like petting zoos for kids with these crazy beasts. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it seemed kind of important with the stupid people with tigers. Stupid people with tigers.
And that started because we're talking about kangaroos on an island in Loch Lomond.
Yeah. Have you seen those guys in Dubai with the things in their cars?
The what?
The lions in their cars, or the
I have one of these.
It's lions.
Yeah,
Oh, do you want some
sure.
gin? Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. It's like.
I think you used to work in a cocktail bar. Several.
Same.
Didn't stay very long.
In the
You
cocktail
had a
bar?
bar job before?
I have, yeah.
Terrible.
I had my first
I
bar
had
job
so
at
many.
16
Used to
17.
get, yeah.
because the people that I worked for didn't really give a shit about the law. Do you want? We've got some. What have we got?
I don't know if that's a round measurement. I don't know. You tell me.
That'll be more than enough. My 2 calls to make.
Do you want gin as well?
Yeah, that'd be great. We've got the
Tonic.
tonic is back there.
So we will get through this story. So Australia, you're in
Yes.
Australia.
Yes.
Australia.
And
Unfortunately, not seeing any spiders.
No. Yeah. So that was an amazing experience. Went to uni. Great uni. Yeah. I feel like before in Amsterdam, I never really had to study much. It was a very practical course. There was a lot of projects, a lot of hard work, but not much brain needed. While in Australia, it was so nice to actually go to uni again, because in Amsterdam it's a University of Applied Sciences. It's a wee bit different. So I felt like, but there I got the belief in myself again. Like I can do this. I am intelligent. I'm not stupid. So yeah, that was a pretty big factor as well in believing in myself again.
I always feel like people that are, I'm going to call you a successful entrepreneur. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm going to call you a successful entrepreneur. Someone on their way up, that they always go through something pretty, I don't want to say fucked up, but they go through something challenging very early on that makes them evaluate what they want to do.
It's not a smooth path.
It's not a smooth path.
No.
And I think for a lot of people, that's totally cool. They see the success and they just think that that's where it started. But obviously, you've known that you wanted to be in business since you were young, and you've had to. It's not been easy finding your path, finding your way, and now you found something where you've got a purpose behind it, and it must be so fulfilling. Like what we do, we're a design agency, but
You're going to say this is not fulfilling?
no, I'm gonna say that what we do, like technically doesn't change the world, but if we can help people that are helping people, then we get so much fulfillment out of that. But you're directly like the girl that said she'd never been able to regulate her body heat for 20 years. I would just get that on a poster on the wall and just look at it every day when it's really tough and just say, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Must be incredible.
It is. It is.
So why did you choose Glasgow?
Oh.
Sorry, that was not meant to come across like that sounded. Glasgow's fucking awesome.
It's not the greatest story. I used to date a guy, and I started dating a guy in Australia was from Glasgow. Well, lived in Glasgow, studied here, so I came here, and then he was an asshole, so left him, but kept the business.
Regions, man, what they like.
So now I'm here,
Yeah.
What are they like? I mean, I was from up north, but still, what are people like?
What are people like?
But so yeah, that's why Glasgow. And I mean, the uni was all right.
Glasgow
the
uni's
uni
pretty
was
good.
amazing. No, it wasn't.
It's pretty good.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think
I
a
could
lot of
afford
people
it.
choose it because it looks a bit like Harry Potter school.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. For me, it was the only uni I could afford at the time.
It's a good price in comparison to like
Even
London.
Strathclyde is more expensive.
Yeah.
Even only 2,000 more. To me, that 2,000, I didn't have that.
Yeah, it's important. It's £2,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 months of life.
Exactly. I paid like 12,000, I think, for euros for my course.
12,000 for the masters. That is quite expensive. Is that including halls?
No, just a tuition fee.
Just tuition fee. Jesus.
I know.
Need to start an educational establishment now.
Astronomical, mate. That's astronomical.
So you get into this entrepreneurship course and you start working on this product, and now you're here.
Mhm.
So like, what happens now that you've got this funding? What happens next? How much money do you need to raise to be able to get to
Manufacturing.
manufacturing?
This is it.
That's it.
Yep.
So you're now going into it.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
That must be
Insane.
yeah.
Again, you're really calm about this. You're like, yeah, you know.
I know.
It's just, that's it. We've reached our target to manufacture. Now we can sell. Now you're a fully fledged business. Now you've got all these investors knocking on your door.
No.
Wild. Wild.
It is wild. It is wild. It is so wild. But like, I don't know. It's too wild to comprehend. You know, every day someone emails me, Corien, love what you're doing. I'm an angel investor. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't, like, I don't even have time to meet up with everyone anymore.
You know that things are good when you're not looking for angel investment.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
so nice.
right.
I mean, it's like I'm spoiled for choice. It's a super difficult decision. So it's like, do I raise more? Do I just make some? Because I can, obviously, if I raise more, I can make more products, which means cheaper manufacture. So it's like, what do I do? Which is such a hard decision, but at the same time, it's such a luxury position to be in.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing? Like, obviously, if you're getting angel investment, does that generally means you're giving a bit of your business away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it general right? Too much?
No, it's nice.
That's okay. Okay, good.
Yes.
That's a positive.
Yeah, so I've not given any of my business away yet.
So if you make that decision to bring somebody in as an investor, then you're giving part of your business away, and that's a tough thing to do.
It is. Like, I don't mind bringing people on board, but I want to do it under the best conditions possible. And I feel like if I raise too early, I'll have a lower valuation. I'll have to give more away for less money. It's finding the right time, but it's quite difficult to know when that time is and what the best deal is and who do you want on board and what can they contribute. It's difficult.
It's important to get like that understanding early.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the big mistakes that people make, is they don't know how to manage that big rush of people being interested. Like, do I take this investment? Do I give this amount of my business away? What happens if I raise this much? What happens if I raise less? Like, how do I manage this situation? Because that's a business in itself, managing a successful fundraising campaign.
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing that... when you're going through the edge, do you have to do anything to learn about that? Because I imagine that they must... What I'm getting at here is, were you a part of anything prior to the edge to prepare you for the edge, or did the edge have like a school or like a program to help you understand, like, so if you win this money, this is how you deal with it, and this is how you deal with investment? And
I think they had some training days, but I didn't go, or I can't remember going.
That's basically fun training days.
Wins competitions left and
I'm
right.
just gonna win this shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win this. Fuck your training.
What can I say?
Got a business to run, empire to run here.
But genuinely, like, for me, like, you know, I have the RSC fellowship, so the Royal Society of Edinburgh fellowship is for 1 year that I get paid to do my business, while at the same time receiving very, very good mentorship. So every month we sit together for 2 days and we have super intensive training, and on top of that, I've got 7 years of business studies at uni that I did. Like, I like, right now I've got my mentors, I've got the training, I've got my studies. Like, I'm there. Like, it's still valuable, but I'm at the point where I'm so busy with work that doing all these training days is just a bit of like, it's a trade-off for my it puts my business progress behind.
I think we went to a bookkeeping
afford.
course. I think we went to a bookkeeping course when we started.
Yeah.
We went to a bookkeeping course.
That was it, wasn't
That was it. Actually, I think we went to a bookkeeping course like 2 years in. So we're like,
I did that at uni
the
and I've
fuck
got
do
my
we do
accountants.
yeah, well, it was a thing. Like, me and Nana, being the arrogant arseholes that we are, we're like,
You do this ourselves.
accountants?
We do computer science. I can count.
I don't need to do this.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of people that tell you, like, you need to get an accountant, but you're like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's not too difficult, but it's
not,
like,
you need to do it.
It's just
time consuming.
Yeah, it's time.
Like, I do this, all my accounting now with my Xero software, Xero, whatever it's called.
You use Zero.
Yeah. And it's
You
just,
thought
oh my
about it.
god, put all these receipts in. I've got literally a staple of 10 centimeters of receipts I need to put in, and I just don't have the time for it.
See,
And
that's
they're
the thing.
all
We do
like
the same
fading
thing.
away.
We do the same thing as well. And I sometimes wonder, who's going to check this?
Because HMRC asked for a full
Yeah.
for a full check.
When they do.
I just
No,
did,
if-
I just did a
yeah.
full check.
When and if they do.
See, if they, I'm not going to say that actually, because see if there's somebody at the HRMC that's listening, they'll know what year it is they should target for me. Where there was like, I'm pretty sure there's receipts, but I'm not sure where they are. Just in a big bundle somewhere.
See, he doesn't have to worry because I'm the finance guy. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
give me the receipt. And he's like,
Yeah, it just kind of came out of luck for me. Like he just got lumped with doing the finance stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
we put
See, that's
short
something that
short.
I was surprised is not the word that I'm looking for here. Impressed with, I guess, is that you're doing it entirely on your own. Like this is a one-man band, right?
Not
One-woman
anymore.
band. No,
We're now 3.
you're 3. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
3 is the magic number.
Yeah. So, but I'm still the only founder. I'm still the only director. But now
So-
I have a chair.
No, but that's what I mean. Like you're.
Yeah, I did do it on my own until now. But now
Yeah.
I have someone in marketing working for me, and I've got a chair.
So,
So
Chair.
this chair
yeah.
that's come on, what is their role?
It's someone, I can't say who it is, maybe because we've not officially announced it yet. But it's
Fine.
someone who's got experience in the mobility industry as well as with a big corporate.
Okay.
So it's used to running billion-pound brands. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of contact as well as internationalization strategy. So
Wow.
together now we sit together and work out because we've got so many leads now. We can't all do them, so you need to identify what path we want to go on now, and see. We're gonna make various what's the English word, options. So like routes, and
Yeah.
see what works best.
So
So
shit
we
just
can
got real.
analyze them. Shit just got real.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What
How-
contact to have, or
Yeah.
what a good person to have.
I know, and it's
on
been
your
like
team.
I've been like wondering for like a year, like how do you surround yourself with good people? Like how does that happen? But it just happens.
Yeah.
You just meet someone and it just clicks.
You're the one.
Definitely. You stay in the game long enough, then you start meeting these people because
know.
of what you're doing.
Exactly. And now I feel like I'm surrounded by so many cool people. that,
Oh,
like,
thank you.
especially here. No, but it was just like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It takes time to find the right people, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like slowly but surely they find me and I find them, and it's just becoming this really nicely oiled machine of
Yeah.
fantastic people that we support. So
I have a lot of respect for people that do it on their own. Like a lot
you.
of like.
it's not easy.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Because like when we did it, and it gets to 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're lying there in your bed, and you're like, "Fuck," and your mind starts to race. I just called him. Like, get out of bed, motherfucker. We're gonna talk, and then we would just talk it out, and that was really good for me. Like just having those. You would do the same. You would call when you were having like moments of like pure fear. So doing it on your own, that's good for you.
Thank you.
That's impressive.
Do you have any agony aunts or people that you lean on, mentors or people that you contact?
What was that you just said there?
Agony aunts.
What the hell is
Agony
that?
ants.
It's like, you want to explain to what an agony aunt is? It's
I mean,
someone-
I can guess what it means.
Yeah.
But,
It's just someone that you go to if you're
An
you
agony
just
aunt.
dump your problems on and they just reassure
aunt.
you. An aunt. Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
aunt that looks after you and she's like,
I've never heard
it's
that
okay,
before.
it's gonna be fine.
Oh, you learn something.
You're freaking
something
out for
every
no
day.
reason.
yeah, I guess I got some people, but mostly I try to deal with it on my own. That's not always a good thing. I very much I like to do stuff on my own, and I don't like to ask for help. But
Yeah.
I've learned to do so. So it's actually nice. So I've got now from my RSC my mentors, and now I've got chairs. So it kind of varies who it is. But,
Yeah. Family's pretty important at that point in time as well.
Well, it's quite difficult because my family's all in a different country. So, I mean, I talk to them, but if you're not in it,
I'm trying to give you an out here. Like, nah, family. I'll just use my family. It was cool. But you're just making it like this is your situation was so much harder than everyone else that it's hard to imagine how you've just been so successful and been so calm about it, and you just tell it like
fuck
it's
knows,
just like
honestly.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's the reaction I was looking for. Fuck knows how this shit happened.
Like,
Just
I
that
did my master's,
turned out.
and I finished with a distinction, top of my class, while I did the business.
At least there was a clap.
Like, I did not sleep. I did not have a social life. Still don't. I took 1 weekend off in a year. Took no holiday.
What'd you do?
I had a bachelorette party in Belgium from one of my friends.
The Rap?
Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
A hen do.
A rap party in Belgium.
A rap.
I've never heard of
That's
this
my
shit.
second career, you know.
50%
I'm a rapper. But
No, actually, I thought like a rap party was like, you know how when, like when a production closes, they have a rap party.
Oh, right.
So I was thinking that maybe like
Still
you went to
stupid. Like, no justification, but cool.
Okay, yeah. Bachelorette party. Well, that's a good thing to get off for the weekend. So do you fly back for 2 days? Was it just 2 days?
3 days. I mean, I flew back for 3 days, yeah.
Jesus.
Right. So yeah, it was tough, but I don't know. I still love what I do. I don't really care. I think it's just like everyone I know, well, everyone that knows me is always like, oh, Corien, you're like, you know, no one works as hard as you. So deserve it. But then in my mind, I grew up in a family where my dad works so hard.
Yeah.
I grew up with the slogan, literally translated, life is for the fast ones.
Yeah.
Like if you slack, you know, that's it, you're done. So I'm just used to doing everything at full 100% efficiency, chase through life. Like I do it good, but I do it fast. And I'm like, if I work 16 hours a day, that's getting shit done. And then like if I don't work, nothing gets done because I am the company. So I'm like, well, I'll just keep working because, you know, I want to get it done.
Yeah.
But just like, I thought that was just normal mentality. But then
No, it's not.
I found out that it isn't. No. So all my mentors, like not mentors, but people from like Scottish Enterprise and stuff, they would say, wow, you know, you progress so much. And I would always think, well, doesn't everyone? Apparently they don't. But for me, it's just how I'm programmed. I mean, it is dangerous to burn out, but it's just...
Burnout's a funny one.
Yeah, no, I feel like if you've got something that's driving you, then you don't burn out.
Yeah.
Like when we were saying this earlier, like it must be nice to get a Friday feeling. Like when you have a job that you don't really enjoy all that much and it comes close to the end of the week and you know there's a 2-day break where nothing really gets done business wise. And you in that job you're like, oh, I can't wait for Friday. But Friday is like, I could have got so much more done in that week.
I fucking hate Fridays because it means it's close of business. Well, like not official close of business, but the opportunity to do more business is done.
I'm like, oh, crap, I need to email. I don't need emails anymore.
That's the thing. Like that, you see that 9 till 5, 9 till 6 window where people were at their emails, and the more I read about people, like, I've turned my phone off when I go home at night. I'm like, this, fuck you. I could email you at that point in time, and you should be able to reply to it.
Well, I can't expect for everyone. Like I wish I could turn my phone off and chill out. I'm just not. I'm too anxious.
No, I love
to do that. Like I know I love it as well, but you know I need more peace of mind. Sometimes I don't have it at all, and it is draining.
Can't lie. I people like us always say I wish I could turn. I do not wish I could turn my phone off. I just wish that people didn't get on at me about constantly doing what I'm doing. Like take a break, relax. You're going to burn out. You're going too fast. No, I'm not. Like it's what I like doing. It's what people. You obviously like doing what you're doing. So working 16-hour days, getting a little bit of sleep and then getting back to it. It's not a problem.
Do you ever have a long day and then think I could have done more in that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days, my office has no windows. I have no fresh air. I did not take a break. I don't take a lunch break. I don't do any breaks. I just work. 9 a.m. in the office, sometimes 6 a.m. and I work until 7 without even leaving my chair sometimes, just to go to the bathroom. And that's just not sustainable. No one can do that. So then I go off and I read this news article and then I keep click on another one. An hour later, I'm like, for fuck's sake, like how did I do this? And then I need to take a break, but just... I don't allow myself to do it, and then I'm like, I wasted so much time. But now I'm so busy, I actually don't waste time anymore because there's no time to waste.
Environment's important.
Yeah,
really important.
Yeah, I'm working on it. You know, in October I'm gonna get an office with a window, with a plant. We don't have the budget. I mean, we have now, but I'm at the University of Glasgow because of my fellowship, and they don't have a better room, so that's what I'm stuck with.
Come here.
I've been there for like 2 years.
There's a desk.
I've not seen the daylight in 2 years. But I've got Laura as well.
You can shoot. We've got a second desk. You maybe need to invest £7.50 into a trestle because we have one spare trestle, but not a fourth one, and it's not out of like any reason other than I cannot be arsed going to IKEA. Like IKEA is amazing, but see when you go to IKEA, like you're going to IKEA. Like I'm going to be there for
It's a day trip.
Yeah, like a whole day.
Yeah.
You're gonna have lunch. Always gonna have
But you
lunch.
know what you need to do? Go at the end of your day, maybe close at 9, be like 7, oh fuck, I need to go to IKEA, rush there. You got no time to spend because it closes. So
I
you
like
need to
your
just go in and out.
thinking, pure chaos. Yep, just plan it so it has to be chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Well, anyway, we're one trestle down, but we just move some stuff around, and then
Maybe.
2 desks.
Problem is I've got all these wheelchairs. I like to be close to all my stuff. Like, yeah.
Well,
Just want to get an office. It's my own.
Conversation for another time.
Yes.
But onto
Thank
that,
you.
the difficulty of environment is important. Environment is important. First office we had one window that faced out into a courtyard, and it was the worst. It was dark all the time, and it was one of these. It was an office that, like, God bless the guy that gave it to us when we started out. We're like, he just gave it to us for free. He was like, just take it, because it was a back office to an office that he was renting in a really nice part of the town. So it gave us a G1 postcode, which was, like, at that point in time, like, straight out of university. It gave us the opportunity to bid for work we just couldn't bid for otherwise. Or maybe the confidence. I don't know what one it is.
Yeah.
Chicken or egg, who knows? But really hideous place. You couldn't bring clients to it. It was just grotesque. It had these floor squares. You know floor squares? Like, where instead of having a full carpet, it comes in squares. So you just need to fit, like, a certain number of squares, and then you just cut the square.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible. And there was like 2 or 3 desks, and they were all dividers. It was just a horrible place. But then when we came here, like, the whole thing just changed.
Yeah.
Like, your just outlook on things is different.
I know. I feel like when I get out of that office, I'm going to be among the people again. I'm going to feel social.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel alive. I see no one. If Laura is in now full time, before she was not, or she's been working part time for like 16 weeks. Before that, it was just me. I would see no one. I come, like, especially in the winter, I go there when it's still dark. No one is in the office, just me. No windows. I go out, it's still dark. It's again dark. And I just go home and make food and sleep. And it's just, it's mentally draining. It's not sustainable.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. But you'll move to greener pastures, I'm sure.
Exactly.
And then once you're there, you'll forget about your time.
Exactly. I can look back and say that's where I started.
Yeah. Make sure
I mean,
to get
it's free
pictures of
space,
it.
you know. Yeah, I need to get some more pictures of it.
Make sure to get pictures. Where was the in your video, which is worthwhile checking out, anyone that's listening. The video.
Amazing video.
Amazing
Kickstarter,
video.
WheelAir.
It was really good. I'm still 100% on that. It was
Mhm.
really, really good. It was a really good Kickstarter video. It's the best
Thank
one
you.
that I've seen from a kind of startup company in Glasgow, for sure.
Amazing. Thank you.
For sure. But God, I know people that do that for a living, so never mind. Ignore what I just said to those people. There was a really cool room where it was like wire mesh behind you. It's like where you're doing the top.
That's
Where
my
is
product designer's office. It's in
Is
the,
that what that
in the
was?
Whiskey Bond.
A really cool office.
Really cool office, yeah.
Really nice office.
Nice office space. It's all like creative startups that are there.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool space.
Whiskey One's really nice.
I thought I filmed there. That looks like that's our office. Look cooler.
It's all about like the perception of it, right?
I know. If we would have filmed in my office, it'd be a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really cool offices.
It is a nice place. And it gets, they have like garden parties on the roof. Terrace.
Yeah, apparently every year there's a big festival party where they
Really?
line up along the water, and then they have like roof parties and
Amazing.
whatnot.
Yeah.
We should go.
There's an absolutely great Asian supermarket across the road from it.
Siwoo.
Siwoo.
I'm a regular visitor.
Amazing, right?
I used to live in Maryhill.
I once bought you did?
Mm.
You have access to all the best Asian supermarkets then?
Well, yeah, I know. But I live in Ibrox now, which is access to nothing. So those days are over. But yeah, Siwoo is amazing.
I bought some of those little Chinese takeaway cartons for no good reason, other than just because I really wanted some. I just brought lunch in Chinese takeaway cartons for a while. Because they're awesome. Just the wee fold-up cartons. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know
You
what
do.
you're talking about. Yeah.
You're looking at me either like... what the fuck are you saying, man?
I'm like, where'd I go from that? You're giving me nothing here, Matt. Yeah.
So how was everybody's reaction that you knew when you released the Kickstarter video?
Insane. Like, you know, you work on this. It's this wheelchair specific product. People don't really know about wheelchairs. they knew that I was winning some prizes. They knew I was doing quite well, but no one actually knew what I was doing because we didn't have any product images out yet. We didn't have any, like, nothing was out. So everyone was like, what the hell do you do actually? Like, what is your product? Like, what do you do on a daily basis? So then to bring that out, people were just like, they were just like, oh yeah, that's amazing. Like, Corien, like, wow, congratulations. And all my parents' friends were congratulating my parents, and my friends were just like, that's fantastic, that's insane. So yeah.
If at any point, like, you're getting a call from somebody that's
it's a
super
call from
important-
Tunisia, so I'm not.
So
okay.
if Bill Gates is
It'll
calling,
Are we
Yeah.
from that recent car accident that you had?
No, it'll be the manufacturer. I always
Have you
yell to those
claimed
people
your-
from the car accident. I'm just like, something. I said yes once. They said, I heard you had a car accident. I was like, yes, I did.
Yeah.
They were like, thank you for calling. Bye.
No, they panic when you do.
Yeah.
I've had the ones where it's like where I ask that question, and when you say yes, you hear the line transfer because it's just like an automated recording, and then they put you through to somebody who's like, here you had a car accident. And like, yeah, terrible. It was the worst. Like I lost all of my limbs. I am in deep trouble. You need to help me. I need the money.
see some of those calls, they get you to say yes, and then they hang up,
And they
and
record
then they
it.
phone you back, and then say, you signed up for this big contract, and you're like, no, I didn't. And then they play back a clip of you. It's like chopped together. Somebody
Yeah.
saying, do you want this thing? And they're like, yes.
I know it's
Unbelievable.
fucked up.
It is super fucked up. So loss of calls. If you do need a call, just take it. Don't, because if it's a super important thing.
It's fine. I mean,
Did you find a lot of people? We were surprised as when even now our family and friends don't really know what it is we do.
mm-hmm.
So it must be quite a nice thing because they still don't for us. So I'm saying it must be quite a nice thing when people actually realize, like, oh, this is what you do.
Yeah. I know, it's really nice. it's so as well, like, it's easy because you just let them play the video and they understand.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's nice. The feedback was absolutely fantastic. It's just, yeah, it's a relief to get it out there, to finally let everyone know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and for everyone to be so happy for me. It's just a really nice feeling.
What do you want to do with the company? Like, what do you want to do? Is it this product is like the product that you want to have? Do you want to be like a kind of this is the one unique product? Do you want to grow a range, or do you eventually want to start making like wheelchairs? Like
I've got about 8 products lined up
do
within the
8
WheelAir
products?
range. Yeah,
Not hanging
Just
about. are
slow
you?
down. Good God, 8 products lined up.
yeah, we've got we're starting the new development of the second product in October.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cooling, and we want to be the center of expertise of heating and cooling in the healthcare industry.
Okay.
I found my niche there. I think it's a mass market need. Yeah, there's no one really operating in that field. While wheelchairs, there's so many different brands, and so many new wheelchair brands trying to make it to market, but it just does not work because the big brands just have a monopoly. And so I don't aspire to do that. It's also not my knowledge. So I believe there are amazing wheelchairs out there, but they do not have the right cushions, and that's what I'm going to provide. I also want to prevent pressure sores formation. So with our next product is heating and cooling, thermoregulated with sensors. So we're hoping to
Heating and cooling.
Yeah, so we're hoping to, by keeping a person at constant body temperature and causing circulation, to reduce the risk of pressure sore formation. So we've done clinical trials with that. So we actually have a medical device for the future. So that's the kind of real med tech we want to go to.
So I'm not going to get into it because I could ask you. I could go down like a rabbit hole of question here about, like, all these are bespoke products. So everything needs to be manufactured independently. It's not like you can go to a place and just pick parts off of a shelf, and like things need to be designed specifically for all of these concepts that you have.
Yeah.
Like, that must be like a mountain when you're starting something like this, when you come up with the idea, and then there must be this fucking mountain of like, oh, okay, this is awesome, but this is also a gigantic climb to get to a point where I've got a product that's ready.
I don't know. I feel like it's not that big of a mountain anymore because we've done quite a lot of testing to get to this product. We've got a good design team that I work with, so I don't feel like it's too much.
No,
I think it's doable. We're also applying for a smart grant for it, so we'll have some budget to play with. But I think it's very doable.
yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
So what about competition? Why? I mean, I actually don't really care so much about the competition. I'm more curious of why, in your opinion, this hasn't already been like done a million times over. Why it's not built into wheelchairs?
Well, it's actually coming. So I've been working on this for 2 years now, but on the 27th of April, one of the biggest wheelchair brands in the world launched a cooling and heating cushion. But it's for fixed backrests, so it only works on their type of cushion. Mine works on theirs too, and it has like an 8-hour battery instead of 20 hours like we do. It looks so ugly. It's do not come kill me. I did not say that, but it does. The remote, it's just like, it's not user friendly. It's not designed with the user in mind. It costs triple the amount of our product, and it's just like they make it because like people are starting to realize it's a huge need, and they're trying to bring that technology there, but they're not designing it with the user in mind. So the user again is faced with this product. They need to buy the product because they need it, but they don't want it. Which I think is a huge issue.
That's super sneaky, making it really expensive if you need it.
And that's why wheelchairs are so expensive.
Yeah.
Wheelchairs start at like £3,000, £4,000. I know, as people's legs.
You know.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's just it's so fucked up. Hang on just a second. It is so fucked up that that's the case.
Yeah.
But it's the same with all these things. The whole pharmaceutical industry, well, I guess I'll never work with these people, but they sicken me. The whole concept sickens me because like you need food, you need water, and you need to be able to take care of yourself in terms of like your physicality. So the fact that we charge in some places such exuberant amounts for things that people require, it's things like, I know that you can get them free, but things that like the most basic like requirements, contraception, madness that they still charge for that in most places in the world, extremely high prices, which stops people from being able to take care of themselves or stop themselves having children. There's just so many different examples where it shouldn't cost money, but it does cost money because they can make a killing off of the product itself. And then they fuck the product up even more as well. There's just so many examples of that. Like the pharmaceutical industry, like I was reading the other day, to like, not to get too deep into this, but tampons for women, they're dyed in a particular way which has a really negative effect. Like I can't remember what it causes. Is it cancer, or if it's like it does some serious fucking damage to your insides anyway, but they're bleached white.
Yeah.
And that bleach causes like serious problems. So like the most convenient way to handle a period makes you sick, or could make you sick, and then they charge you £8 a pack. And
they don't tell you. That's the worst thing. You don't know
no, they
until
don't
you
tell
really
you.
go reading about it.
They don't tell you until they're forced to tell you about it.
Yeah,
as well.
because somebody does an article on it.
And still, like, no, like the articles are out there. Everyone knows, but people don't know. Like maybe 2% of the population knows. The rest just use them. No one knows. No one is like, doesn't go.
Well,
into
why
the
would you look
mainstream.
into it? Like that's the thing. Like if you brought up and that's what it is, that's what the option is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless somebody tells you.
Unless somebody tells you, why would you ever?
Google it?
Like somebody should be telling you that. And no, it's just like there's just so many things. The fundamentals in life, the fact that they cost money. We could go into that huge conversation around this, but the fact that things like wheelchairs cost so much money, and like the person that has no ability to use their legs either by accident or by they were born in that with that condition, then they have to pay this, but also their life is restricted to an extent where their opportunities are less than like the current societal requirement. Therefore, they can't afford the best. So who is it that can afford a £3,000 wheelchair easily? Who requires
that's the thing. If you need it, you're going to have to pay for it anyway.
Yes.
And I think that comes back to why the products are so ugly. Like, there's no reason for wheelchairs or cushions or anything like that for a wheelchair to be so unconsidered. But because people need it, they can just churn out everything because it fulfills that need, and then you have to pay for it at whatever cost.
It's changing though, but it's a slow change. But I'm gonna make it a rapid change, and I'm gonna change the industry.
Yeah, you have to.
People deserve it.
Because the fact that you've got this other pharmaceutical company that we won't name, who has this other product that does something similar, but not as well, not as efficiently, doesn't look as good.
I mean, I've had ex-employees of that company reach out to me and say, "Oh, are you aware of this product? But yours looks a lot better." I mean, this is people who've been working for that company for 7 years or something.
It's just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. But it's one of those things like you're obviously making waves within that industry, and obviously a super impactful way, which is why these people are starting to reach out and be like, "Hey, yours is way better. Ours is shit."
I don't want to piss them off though, because they got a lot of money.
Yeah, they do. They do, don't they? God damn.
What's the toughest thing been since this became a real business venture for you? What have you found the toughest thing been? Because from the outside looking in, you look invincible, just winning competitions, working 16 hours a day, just doing it. But what have you found a challenge? Because there's obviously someone that's like you, that's 19, that's listening to this, that's not doing well in uni, and he or she is like, I want to be a business person. So what advice would you give yourself from back then?
I think back then, emotionally, my life, personally as well, it was all just a big mess, and I just was so lost. I think the biggest lesson is just chill, because it falls into place. Just if you keep working hard enough and you keep doing what you love and keep pushing forward, things will fall into place. And I don't think I ever realized that until like a couple of months ago. Just things fall into place. I'm so happy now. Like, well, not always, but I love what I do. I wouldn't want to do anything else. But 2 years ago, I didn't know I was going to start a business. I was sitting there with my cousins. I remember a dinner in Ghent, and they one just had a job, one was doing an MBA, all had relationships, houses, all my age. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm like, I can't remember what I was doing. It was some summer job somewhere,
that can be
no
tough,
relationship, no
that can be tough.
no. I didn't know where I was gonna live because I've moved countries every year. But now, I'm like, I have that stability and I love what I do and I'm being so successful. So it's crazy. But I think the most difficult thing is people is a big thing. Because, having a commitment from people is big. So is this the right person for you to work with?
Mm-hmm.
It's so difficult on all levels. Is this the right lawyer? Is this the right accountant? Is this the right product designer? Is this the right employee? And you need to just take a leap of faith and just go for it. But it's a big decision because people can make or break you. So that's very difficult. And I think another difficulty is just mentally staying afloat. I think that's...
Do you meditate?
No.
Yoga? Yoga?
I did it for a wee bit, but then I don't have time for stuff anymore.
Mindfulness?
I know I want to, but I've exercised once in the last 3 weeks. I literally just come home and work and sleep and eat.
Exercise is important.
Yeah.
Super fucking important.
I know.
That you can't
I want to do it, but...
No, I'm the same. I'm the same. I can't lie. Yeah. I fucking hate it. I hate the gym.
No, I love exercise. I love running. I did loads of sports, but I just don't... I run because I don't have a gym membership.
One up me there.
I can't run in the dark. I come home in the dark. Or come home.
Just so that I come home in the dark, but I'm just like, fuck that.
I know. It's or I come home and I forgot to eat lunch, so then I can't run because without eating, so then I need to eat. Cooking is the only hobby that I kept, so I cook quite extensively, and then it's too late or I'm too full. And I'm just so tired. Just want to sleep. But it's hard because it's so mentally draining. Sometimes I put all my energy and effort in a day, and my day is so exciting, but I come home and it's just you're just empty.
Yeah, no, I know what you feel. Exercising is so cathartic as well. When you're doing it, you feel amazing. You're like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel terrible. And then you go a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks without it, and then it's so hard to get back into. The energy is not there, the effort's not there.
But you also feel like shit when you stop it.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I still do it. And when I do it, I feel better. But then when I stop it, I feel like shit. And then I can't be bothered going and doing it. So it's a really fucked up cycle that you just kind of just need to throw yourself into. Yeah. The good thing about having the two of us having worked in this together for the past 3 years. Holy shit. 3 years. The most important things that I think we both worked out together was diet and meditation. Those two things Yeah, just like we both kind of came on and off of meditation for like a long time. Like I would do it for a wee while.
You more so than
And
me.
then-
I only started recently, like in the last 6 months.
Yeah, changed my fucking life. Changed my
Really?
life.
I don't know how to meditate. Like I want to do it. Sometimes I lie in my bed and I'm like,
There's
Let's
a
try
wonderful
meditate,
app
like-
on your phone called Headspace.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
Headspace.
had it for a while. I had the free trial and then I deleted it.
Yeah,
Is
no,
the
that's
guy's voice too annoying, or?
His
I don't
voice
know,
is
I was
annoying.
like, I was just like, oh, I just want to sleep. Just turn it off.
yeah. No, it can be really difficult to get into it. But like meditation, yoga, I find yoga hard because I'm not very flexible, and I know that you're supposed to, but I also find it very difficult to understand like how to get into certain positions, how long to hold it for.
I loved
I've,
yoga, but look, I don't have that money to just spend on yoga classes. It's just expensive as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I don't go to the gym because it's too expensive. I don't go-
7 minute workout. So, no, I don't spend money either. I'm cheap as shit when it comes to that sort of thing. Absolutely not. So like, don't.
Common trait here.
Yeah, common trait here. But the 7 minute workout, there's a yoga part of that. So there's like regular workout 7 minutes, and then there's a yoga workout for like 7 minutes, and the 7 minute one is like just literally like moving from position to position. And I found it really hard at first to get into it, but you can go for like a really basic level. So it's just kind of a lot of really simple movements. Changed my life, 100%. Changed my life. That and changing diet. I'm still struggling with a little bit, but cutting sugar out, stopping coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, eating vegetables. As a gross boy, I never ate vegetables.
Oh really?
All that
I healthy.
Yeah. See, that's probably why you're so chill as fuck. Like you'll need that stuff. You're
Yeah,
probably
doesn't
just
drink
good.
coffee. That's why you're not anxious.
Yeah.
If
all
I
the
would
time.
drink coffee, honestly, like I am really chill now because I am hungover, I am tired, I am exhausted, so I'm chill. But normally I have energy for 10. You know, if I
Okay.
drink coffee, I would be jumping around so much. Like people would be like, just go sit there.
What's
Like,
your secret then? What are you eating?
I don't know.
What are you eating? Like,
Loads of veg. that I'm
Loads
not
of
allergic
veg?
to because I'm allergic to most, but like loads of veg and pasta and just I love food so much. So I just
yeah.
spend
So you
ages
eat pasta?
cooking.
You eating pasta?
Oh yeah, loads.
Oh yeah.
Loads.
Oh, I cut pasta out.
Love it too much.
So
also,
do
I'm
you,
allergic
yeah.
to so many things.
You're
So-
allergic to
Really?
so many things.
What are you allergic to?
I don't know if you want to get into
Start the
this.
list.
We've got time.
I'm the
It's fine.
same as well. Milk.
Right.
Can't drink that shit.
Carrot, pepper, celery, soy, kiwi, mango, melon, raspberry, strawberry, apple, pear, fennel, cumin,
Wow.
coriander, parsley, almonds, hazelnuts, peanuts, peas, beans, trees, plants, animals, grass.
So,
Can go on and on and on.
so did you do? So we did a food test. Like we got an allergy test done maybe a year ago now, and
Yes.
a few things came up for us, but that's extensive. Wow! Like
How did
are
you
all
find that
those
out?
things in that list quite
Severe.
quite severe? And how did you find
Well, I
out?
don't
you
go
were
into
allergic to?
anaphylactic shock. Well, I basically lived with chronic pain my whole life, and no one ever bothered to do an allergy test. So a couple of years ago, I did one, and they found that out. So it was really hard. So I get really, really bad stomach pains. I've been in the hospital a couple of times. I just like fall down from pain. I've missed uni for 6 weeks, stuff like that.
Sure.
And now I know my life is fantastic.
It was the same for me. Like I had like really bad stomach pains, like debilitating at points.
Hmm.
And then we went to get an allergy test because I was like, fuck this needs to get sorted out. And that was the same. I was like, milk,
And it was dairy.
cheese. Yeah, dairy was a huge one for me. Like the woman was like, do you drink milk? I was like, well, yeah. And she was like, not anymore. She's like, you stay the
Yeah.
fuck away from that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
And is it better now? Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. So much better.
Yeah.
The thing is for me is like the hardest one is bread. Like I can't eat bread anymore. But like finding something, I'm just terrible at preparing things to eat. Like that's the bane of my life.
I'm the breakfast queen, and I never eat bread, so I'll share some
Please do.
something.
Like see if you can find, because he is fucking great at breakfast. Like he comes in the morning and I'm like, I'm so hungry. He's like, oh, I had like avocado and salmon with some eggs this morning, and I'm like, oh man, that sounds awesome.
I make loads of pancakes which you can't eat, but I also make my own granola, and then
No, I can pancakes with gram flour, like you know the
With milk?
No,
well,
soy milk.
So I'm allergic to soy.
Yeah.
But anyway, got great. I ate pancakes in the morning or sweet potato pancakes. Great recipe, no milk.
So I've tried sweet potato pancakes. Tried them once.
An amazing
But that,
recipe for it.
like what you're talking about here, is a lot of effort for the morning. Do you like prepare it at night?
Yeah, so I make pancakes on Sunday and then eat them the rest of the week. But I make granola a couple times a month and then just eat that with Greek yogurt and
send me the
fresh
granola
fruits.
recipe. Do you do you make
Oh, it's
granola?
in my mind, but yeah, I make my own granola.
Okay, I'd like to know that because I can't find a granola that's not
It's all
shit
full
and
of
full of
sugar.
sugar. Yeah,
I know.
but I like granola. Well, mate, I think I like granola. Maybe I like the sugar.
It's not like my granola. It's not like store bought granola. It's nice roasted. It's amazing.
Absolutely send me that recipe then, because I do.
I'll type it out because it's like an adaptation of several.
Oh yeah. Well, make sure you do that because there's a woman that works downstairs in our coffee shop who's promised me like a soda bread recipe for however long we've been here for.
Okay, I promise.
Please, because that'd be super helpful. Granola in the morning that's not like sugar filled would be great. Yeah.
It must be a minefield going out for dinner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean, unless you take me to an Indian or a Mexican place, there's always stuff I can eat. It's more like I'm embarrassed because I need to go like.
Does this have this? Does it have that?
Yeah, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that, I'm allergic to that. I just feel bad.
You know what came up in my food allergy test? She was like, stay away from alcohol 100%. And I was so shocked.
Yeah.
I was like in disbelief. I was like, well, it is a poison. It is targeting your brain and your liver. So why am I so shocked that alcohol doesn't agree?
No, even better than that is he got told this, right? He got told it, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit the drink." But he had the Riverside Festival like the weekend after, so I was like, "Cool, go to the Riverside Festival, get fucked up, then this is your last time." So I can't remember how long it was into. It was maybe like 4 or 5 months, and he was still drinking. And I just completely forgot to mention it to him. And he came in and he was like feeling like shit because he'd been out on this Saturday night and he was really
Takes
hungover.
me forever to
and
recover.
Yeah. And he said to me, I'm feeling like shit. I don't know what it is. And I was like, it's the alcohol that you've been drinking that you were told not to drink from the lady that we went to see about allergies. And he completely forgotten it. Like his mind had just gone.
It's so
nope.
It's so built into the Scottish culture.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, as you were saying earlier, the weather here is so shit. What do you do to socialise? You drink.
I know.
Yeah.
You're doing a professional podcast. What do you do? You drink.
You drink. Yeah.
So it's like, what else are you gonna do? So every time I drink, I know I'm gonna be paying for it for like 3 days. So
I make it an occasion.
I'll live with it. I've cut everything else out, like mushrooms. That was it really for me. Mushrooms, pollen, grass.
You're not eating any of those, so it's alright.
Alcohol, ignored that. Sugar. I tend not to have sugar, so pasta, rice,
Good.
Yeah.
potatoes, carbohydrates.
But you're feeling better now. You're like top of the tree. Feeling
Yeah,
well.
so like sometimes when I eat something I'm allergic to because I love it.
What
I
do you
like
love?
3
that much
strawberries,
that you would do?
everything.
Sorry?
Everything.
Everything, all
everything that I named. So 3 strawberries a year, it's the joy of my life. I've had 2 raspberries in the last year, maybe. Fantastic. Sometimes I have
Yeah. What would you enjoy with Pims and lemonade, if not strawberries?
Pims and lemonade.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a Pims kind of gal.
You're not a Pims gal? No? But it's like the most delicious garden beverage in the world. With strawberries.
Well,
No? Oh man.
it's okay.
Oh, it's delicious. Maybe it's because I've got strawberries in my Pims.
I can eat blueberries, so.
Blueberries are good too. I'm new to this whole Pims thing, so I'm just like pushing it. Like I'm not like a lifer of Pims, but I had a garden party recently, and we had somebody there who made Pims cocktails with strawberries. Remember this?
Is this the most West End Glasgow thing that's ever been said in this podcast? I think it might be.
I think it might be, yeah.
I think it might
possibly.
be.
I
It was
mean,
in a private
having
gardens.
a garden in the first place is like, wow.
No, but we have we have access to. Fuck me. The thing is, like, I start to say these things, and I don't
I
want.
had a wee garden party over the weekend. We were drinking Pims
where do
and
you
fresh
live?
strawberries.
I don't want to sound like I don't behind Waitrose. I don't want to.
Inland,
I don't want to sound like a dick.
Pushland.
But I do sound like a dick when I say these things because people judge it. But we have a
Just own it, baby.
private garden that used to be a Victorian bowls court.
Why not?
Of course. What else would affluent people do with their time, right? Besides bowl. And I had an Easter garden party, like an Easter egg hunt.
I'm okay, thank you.
I'm cool. I'm still going through mine.
I need to go to the bathroom quickly.
No, cause
Where is it?
straight across the hall. Straight across the hall. Just push that over to the side if it's going to get away.
Tell me this story, please.
Well, you already know the story. You were there.
Tell me again, man. Tell me again.
Well, we had the Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah.
And I really need to share those videos.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Actually, so while she's saying that, I need to go to the gents as well.
You're not going to leave me here.
No, I'm not, because then it'd just be
That
you
would be
with
strange.
the clanking glass of the gin.
Drinking on my own. That could be quite
Really
funny.
nice gin.
It is indeed.
I
It
wasn't-
tastes even better coming out of this.
Out of that, yeah, it was
Yeah.
the carafe.
Do you want some more?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not?
Why am I even asking?
The things I don't want to get too fucked up tonight because we've got this thing tomorrow night. We're going to a party tomorrow night. It's, the provider of these microphones to assist this podcast.
Podcast?
Podcast.
Oh, man.
Is turning 30 tomorrow.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ian.
Happy birthday.
You'll never listen to this, but happy birthday.
I'll make him listen to it. I'll save him tomorrow night.
It's been really interesting.
It has
Fearless.
been.
Fearless.
It actually makes me feel really bad about myself.
You know what? I think we take it for granted that we have each other, and that sounds proper bromance.
Yeah.
And it is, but there's been days where you've just not been in it, and I've not been in it,
Yeah.
and that happens. But to do it on your own with all that pressure and all these people expecting of you, whoo, that's something else.
It definitely is.
It's admirable.
Fill up. Sorry I spilled that on you, by the way.
That's cool. Let's go. No, it's something else. And
I'm going to stop saying that that's where I live, though.
I think it's the Waitrose thing that's the problem. It's the best.
I'm a Whole Foods shopper now.
Oh yeah.
I've
it's
become
close to
proper
you, no.
middle class.
It's close to you in Ibrox.
No, it's in Giffnock.
Giffnock.
Same
South
thing,
side,
It's like
baby.
no, it's like a proper trip away.
Anywhere that's not West End is South side.
Actually, I'll have a wee bit more journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not my fault. Like the Waitrose is the most recognisable landmark next to my house. I'm not being like I'm not posturing with it. Sorry?
Or more.
No, that's the wrong side of the street. I've said that before. I've said just behind the
okay,
Or
actually,
More,
yeah, then you live on
and
the
then
other side.
you're like Cecil Street, which
It's too studenty for you.
What are you doing tomorrow night, Corey?
Tomorrow night.
My friend's 30th is in Ibrox. Just
Really? I've got a flat party in the West End.
is it behind the Waitrose? Or?
No, it's not.
We were just saying we were just saying that we take it for granted that if I'm whining like an idiot, that Matt's there to snap me out of it. But for you, it's just you in your head, like worrying about this thing. You've not got someone sitting there saying it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So we were just saying, big respect and admiration for what you're doing, because you're definitely doing something that improves people's lives. There's a lot of people want to be authentic and genuine, but they're absolutely forcing it. Like they're making more of what they do because it doesn't impact people's lives. And you don't have to do that because it's so clear, it's so obvious. Like Matthew was saying earlier, it's bizarre that there hasn't been something like that up until now, and it seems like there's these big conglomerates that are now putting their focus onto it. So good for you.
Thank you.
And congratulations again on winning the Edge. Not easy, but you make it look easy because you're so calm and cool about it.
Man, yeah, when I did my pitch, everyone was like, "Oh, you look so relaxed, you look so confident."
Yeah.
I was not.
Terrified.
I did my pitch, so I started it. I only made the pitch the day before. That like I had it, but we changed some words around and stuff, and then did 2 lines of it. Forgot. Middle of stage, 600 people. Forgot what I was saying.
Did
And I was
you
like-
just stop and we're like,
I was like, WheelAir is phenomenal. And then I set all the lines in a completely different order. Had to paste everything in my head. Nothing came out the way it's supposed to. And no one noticed. Everyone just thought thought for a second, like it was just a second stop, and my mind was massive. Everyone just it looked really good. They were like, "Oh, excellent pitch! Like, best pitch of the day." And in my mind, I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm fucking up," and I'm shaking, and like but people don't see it. That's the good thing.
Was this yesterday?
Yeah.
How many people were you talking in front of?
I think like someone told me 600, but I don't know if that's the capacity. Maybe like 300-400. I'm not sure.
What? 600? No,
Wonderful.
That's too many.
I don't know if it's 600. Someone told me that, but
well, that would make sense.
I don't know. A full auditorium.
Yeah, full. Yeah, like 600 is a reasonable number, especially for an event of that.
Yeah, it was full. Casual.
Did you have cue cards, like we cards?
No, never.
You just
go in blind.
Go in blind.
When we first met, you said that you were going to do this pitch at Edge, and I was like, 100% confidence, because your product speaks for itself, and you're obviously articulate and smart, and have done these things before, and see if you have a good product and you can just talk about it well. Easy sell.
You've done well.
Thank you.
You really have. I got to admit, like I'm still trying to piece it together in my head. Like how, like, obviously, the more I hear the story, I get to see the progress, like starting economics, having interest in business, going to fashion, going into entrepreneurship in Glasgow, kind of realize there's this thing, then shape it and turn it into this product that just is killing it, and it's going to kill it. But it's a lot to take in. Obviously, that's the hardest thing about all these stories, which is, like, I quite like having this conversation with you, because you get to see, like, I get to hear the bits that were tough throughout that whole process, because it's one of those things that you always hear people's stories, and it's like they tell you the short version of it. It's like, yeah, no, came up with this idea and kind of this and this and this, and I got this product, and I'm fucking got a yacht, and that's how that happened. But there is a lot in between now and then that got you here.
I know.
And it's pretty awesome.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's crazy.
So you're going to
people always see the good things, yeah.
Yeah, of course. You're going to this flat party tomorrow. You think you're going to get fucked up?
I don't know. I'm so
After
tired.
recovers from this hangover.
Well, I feel like I need to celebrate tonight, so I'm gonna go meet some people for. Well, I first have 2 more work calls after this, and at 10 I'm done.
Work calls.
Yeah, I'm working until 10 in the evening, or maybe 11. I'm gonna call with US, and then gonna go out for a drink. And tomorrow I'm gonna catch up on my emails and then not work for the rest of the day.
Okay. I've got
good call.
You need to make a celebration. If we'd known that it was stupid, I should have brought champagne. I thought about it. I was like,
I had a whole bottle yesterday on my own.
Did you? So that's why that's the hangover then.
That was just the start. That was just the aperitif.
No. So you've got to go do some business tonight.
Yes.
Do some more obviously you're going to have to. Oh, you'd have called everybody yesterday, right? So today's picking up on it. So
this is just stuff that was already scheduled beforehand.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Never ends.
I think we'll let you get to that then. I mean, we were going to say to you, let's go for a beer, but you've got work.
Yeah.
That makes me feel really bad that I'm going to go for a beer now.
Well, that's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my life.
Yeah. But
I mean, this is crazy exciting. Crazy exciting.
Mm.
I'm really excited. Yeah. It's all been just since we launched the Kickstarter, since it's been the videos online, things have really taken off, and it's insane. I can't even describe it. Yeah. It's just absolutely surreal. I really believe that this is gonna be big.
Oh no, I'm sure of it. Yeah, absolutely. You just keep pushing at it you're pushing at it. You're gonna slay it. Absolutely. So before we wrap everything up, for all the people that have stayed with us for an hour and a half, Jesus, it's not bad. I think this is the longest one so far. Normally we cut people off around an hour, but or this. No, it's time. Fucking this time. But nah, I mean the gin was good, so it's fine. No rush. But do you want to tell people this is the awkward bit where I put you on the spot and say like rhyme off your like information, tell people where they can find out about the wheelchair backrest and where they can find you and where they can find out more about your products.
Okay, so if you want to connect with me or ask me some questions, go find me on LinkedIn. It's Corien Staels. Props if you know how to spell it. So our product is called WheelAir, like wheelchair without the C. So if you look that up online, or wheelchair cooling, then you'll find us. So the company is called Staels Design. We're soon going to be rebranding everything to WheelAir. So WheelAir will be the key point that you can look for. So I think we're pretty easy to find. There's not much wheelchair cooling out there. Or the top news, Google News, if you look for wheelchair cooling.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, email me, Facebook us, tweet us, call me, whatever. Fan mail can be dropped off.
Yeah. Do you get fan mail? Do you get like last thing? Do you get like?
I get a lot of resumes, and that to me is like as good as fan mail. That's like people believe in me and they want to work with me. That's fantastic. It's so flattering. It's so surreal.
It's a pretty cool thing when you get to do
I got CVs every day. How mental is that?
Yeah.
How crazy. That's so crazy.
Do you read them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important to read them all.
I try to have coffees with everyone.
It'd be really nice if there was a time for that, wouldn't it? People to meet these people.
I try to because I like for my employees in general, like I want to help people grow to where they want to be in their career.
Yeah.
So like I want to help people, like young people who are like looking for what the hell do I want to do with my life, because I was that person. It's nice to have someone guide you and have a chat with you and see like, right, okay, what is it that you want to do? How can we help? So I try to help where I can. Yeah.
It is great, just helping people if it's a little bit of advice.
Yeah, I know, like, people are so lost when you're young. Yeah, I'm still young, but at least I've found myself a bit. But like, if it just takes one person sometimes to just have a chat with you and say like, right, okay, where would you fit? What could you do? How can you fit with us? Like, if I can help someone by having them doing a little internship with us, help me out.
Yeah.
Could pay them a bit. They figure out what they want to do, put down the resume. I mean, it's change someone's lives.
Being young, doing that whole thing.
I know. Yeah.
So difficult. You'd think that they would have figured it out by now. Like, we've been doing it for a long time, having people being young, but it's still as fucking horrible as it. It's just such an individualistic thing, isn't it? But that's awesome. I mean, it's good that you're actually doing something to help people, particularly because I think we all forget when we start to get caught up in our own shit that there's people out there that are just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you can help them, that's super badass.
Agreed.
But thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel like the gin has helped me get through the hangover, so I'm ready for round 2.
That's what they say, right? Like, you have to just kind of add on top of the problem already.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just carry it through 3 days,
Well, I might. I'm a big fan of day drinking. A wee day bevy.
Yeah. I'm trying really hard
not
not
to
to
get into
11. It's really hard not to get into that.
It's amazing because you just drink during the day. It's the sun. If the sun shines, sit outside. By 11, you're in bed. The morning after you wake up, it's fine because you weren't out late.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I think day drinking is a new evening drinking.
But that's... getting back into this. But that's like... that was one of the first things that I noticed when I went to Belgium that is not weird. Well, no, that was weird for me, but it's not weird for Belgians.
Yeah.
Like, this whole day drinking thing. Like, XK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they sell, like, beers. And in universities, you have beer. I remember I went to university campus and there was beers in the fridges and I was just like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, that just does not happen here. You're not allowed. Like, day drinking is not something that you're allowed to do. It's like, you're bad day drinker. You need to wait till the evenings and do it in a public house. Anyway, we're going to get into the whole thing.
I know, this is going to turn into a 4-hour podcast if we don't wrap it up. But yeah, we'll put all of the details in the description of how to find you.
Mm-hmm. Also live on Kickstarter until the end of June.
Everyone go support it. This has been really insightful, and I'm sure there's some budding entrepreneurs that are keen to either talk to you or have learned something from this. So thanks for coming in, speaking to us.
Thank you for having me. It was pretty cool. My first podcast.
It's easier than it looks, right? Yeah, it's easier than it looks.
Yeah.
Again, gin helps.
It does help. It really does. It does. Okay.
All right, guys, go do something else. Bye.
Bye.